Streams up, she's in the zone, breaking it down from her comfy throne. Smart as hell with a side of flair, politics sass and a killer stare. Casey's lurking tail in the frame, chat's already playing their games. That's our Kitteh, sharp and bold, hot takes drop while the chaos unfolds. Truth with bite, filth in the way, still showing up every streaming day. Brains and vibes, she leads the pack, now buckle in, no looking back. That dark night, let's go!
Good morning. It is 10 o'clock GST, and I'm ready to do some learning. It is a contentious time online right now, and I don't feel like going into arguments and things like that. We've got a lot of them, going into actual ones, but I'm going into the theory today. Most of this stuff is basically it's stuff you know, stuff I know, heard of before, but we don't have a nice cheat sheet that we keep handy the whole way through. And why is, for some reason, Siri started listening to me and I didn't say anything to her, so that's good. I love it when that happens. Thanks. At least I've got, that's an extra viewer. I think I've decided that she's an extra viewer. So yes, what we're going to do today is use the OWL, the Purdue OWL, online writing. What is it? Online writing lab. Okay. I used to use I think I used this when I was a student. So it's good to go back to it. And I just want to get a cheat sheet together of logical vocabulary, logical conclusions, logical fallacies, all of those things, so that they can help me when I'm diagramming, to put some valuable comments other than just lol, it happened, whatever. It would be nice to have like a proper key of what kind of fallacies we're doing. And if there is time today, there is literally a philosophical way that people diagram arguments, and I looked into it in the beginning when I started diagramming, but I never really continued looking into it. But if there is time today, that's what I'm going to do. But for now, the first thing I'm going to do is just come and hang out with me while I learn. Good morning. Hey, Defaults. What's up, Defaults? Wow, it has been a while. I think your alert should still be there. Let's see. I don't know if it works with the word default. Let's see. Default. Come on. I don't know. I didn't see my stream elements. It has been a minute. My StreamYard. Let's see. Maybe it's this. Anyway, my stream elements wasn't working. That's it. Yeah, the stream, it hasn't started yet. The app, the bot's not working for some reason. Interesting. Why? I definitely didn't. It was basically default. What's the name? The Homer Simpson yelling that. But yes, it has been a hot minute. I haven't gamed in a very long time. I think that's going to change. Going to have to change in the next few days. Yeah, we got to keep going. It's my, oh wow, look guys, I've got, I don't want to view my analytics, but I just went to my studio and I've been on, you've given the world 7 years of videos. So I've been on what's it, YouTube for 7 years. So there's that. Great. Thanks. I'm finally almost at 1,500 subscribers. Let's go. Yeah, so anyway, there's that. But I was actually supposed to go to the live studio thingy-majiggy. That's why I was even there. Anyway, how you doing, Default? What you been playing? Let's see. Oh, the commands don't work. Well, they won't, right? What? Yeah. It would be SO Default. I've forgotten how to Twitch, honestly. I stream to Twitch just by default, lol. But there we go. Oh, you're playing Elden Ring. Pretty much only been playing Warframe in my downtime. Okay, in your downtime. So you haven't been streaming, but you've been playing what's the name? Warframe. Warframe is so much fun, actually. That's another. I think I haven't streamed in 2 years. Well, you streamed Elden Ring? Okay, anyway. Yeah, it's I might stream some games. Whenever I stream games, it goes to Twitch, but I don't stream games on my YouTube channel. At the moment, there's a separate YouTube channel for gaming, but not that I haven't done anything. Not that I have done anything there. Okay, let's get our outro. Yeah, I streamed Elden Ring when it came out. Yeah, have you played the DLC or anything like that? Oh, not the DLC. Wasn't there something new? I don't know. I haven't played Elden Ring. It's too difficult for me. World Tour of Linkin Park. Interesting. Oh, happy June 16th, I suppose. Not that we say that. That's not a happy time. But whatever. Let's get into our diagramming. I haven't bought any new games in about a year. You don't need to. Night Rain is the new Elden Ring, says Master. Yeah. You're seeing Linkin Park live on the 26th. Where? World Tour. June 16th, they're in Germany. Oh, you're gonna have to tell me how it is. It must be very weird because I saw them. Oh, in Amsterdam. Okay. Whoa. Hello, camera. I didn't even move. So he's gonna see them in Amsterdam. You're gonna have to tell me how that is. Because I saw them live with Chester, so I don't know how I would feel with seeing them live now. Like, I know I'm supposed to get excited about a tour, but I'm like, just not the same feeling. Okay, let's go here, and I'm actually going to put my background music on a little bit louder for myself. It shouldn't change anything for you, viewers. Yeah, it's just so that I can hear it more. Right, there we go. Also, good morning, Master Cost. I was going to call you Costelius. Master. There we go. I'm just talking to Default over on Twitch. An old friend from the gaming time. Okay, that is. Let's put you as a. Whoa. Oh, how is Xmind not open? Sorry, best streamer ever. But yeah, the world is a bit wild right now, and I am just not in the right space to be getting into contentious issues right now. So I thought let's do something just interesting. Basically, I'm just like, I want to study, so let me study. Let's see, mind map. Okay, I will open it up now. I'm sorry, it's all bright. Am I the only YouTube chatter? Yep, you are. You all alone. Well, Default's all alone as well. Nobody wants to come and learn with me, Master. It's lame. You had so much faith. Where's mine? There we go. What are the logical things you can remember? The basics of logic. I'll show you. These are the notes that I'm basically probably going to be looking at. Ew. I do feel like it's going to be a little weird, but I read an interesting viewpoint about it. And I don't get me wrong, I love Chester, but this was the view. With Chester, we had that raw emotional pain and struggle he was going through with the new girl. I keep forgetting her name. I think her name's Emily. She has this, what feels like deep raw anger that she projects in her vocals. And it's a contrast to Chester, and the same songs have different feelings interlaced to them. So it's actually a different, different experience doesn't mean worse. Yeah, I think you can still love those songs. Maybe you can fall in love with them again because of her, because she performs them in a different way. There are still songs you love, but it's yeah, you love the way Chester did it, but it's strange. It's a strange feeling, a strange thing that they took a chance getting a new vocalist and going with a female. I'm glad that they did go with a female, because not because ooh yay woman, but because it's just a nice, it's not, there's like, they're completely different. Okay, so it already from the beginning they're not supposed to sound the same. So you kind of get that grace given to her already because she's a female, so it works. And I feel like that anger stems from the same place of hurt as well. We, all of us LP fans, felt when Chester passed. Oh, so we're angry at Chester. Yeah, we saw. And you know what? Good on her for, for taking up that. It is quite a thing. I saw an interview with Mark and how they chose Emily, and I totally get it. How did they choose her? I guess I haven't been fanboying hard enough with Linkin Park, so I don't know much about how all of it happened. Not angry at Chester, but at the loss of him. Yeah. I understand. Morning, guys. Hey, Wade. Good morning. Are you ready to learn? Learn with Kitty. We are learning from Purdue. Oopsie, that's not how we're going to do that. That's how we're going to do it. You guys don't really need to see this, but it's just letting you know where I'm at, what I'm looking at. I'm glad I'm not alone. Master was feeling very, very weird all by himself in the chat. It's okay. I don't know. Everybody's hungover from their Father's Day celebrations, or no? It's just the Americans are all over. They're asleep. Or maybe people are taking a break from being online right now, which is almost that's what I did last week. I'm still pretty drunk. Wee! What did you be drinking? Okay, so I'm gonna just use this. Let's close it again. Like I said, our reference for this stream is the OWL, which is Online Writing Lab by Purdue University. Okay. I think it's cool to. What I want to do is create a cheat sheet, basically, for I mean, people expect me to know this stuff because I care about debates, right? So I need to remember it. I did it in first year philosophy, and then I left it because I had other things to study. So remember when we had, let's do logical vocabulary. So what they've got here is logic in argumentative writing. So they talk about that, like, but part of it is using logic. Okay, is the logical vocabulary. And I think it's okay to make a mind map of the logical vocabulary. Vodka. You karaoke'd until 4 a.m. Wow. Hey, Soranos. She went into the studio for the audition, and before then, they even did the audition. They were chilling together, and they all just clicked. Okay, yeah, that's necessary. You're gonna be a band. that is necessary. You guys got to get along. I don't know. I don't feel like it's the same thing as, like, okay, maybe teams that work very close together, you do also need to click. But a band is very much necessary. You're going to be creative together. I made it to predicate logic before getting scares. Also, I did a lot of IRL drugs at the time. Only at that time, Dux. You're done now. You're done with your drugs now. Okay, so using logical vocabulary. I guess this is. I can put this as part of it. It's the moving pieces. So let's put logic as the central thing. Logic basics. Basics are. And yes, people I suppose would be like, why don't you just copy paste and then the AI will make this this diagram for you. But that's actually not what I'm doing with this. What I'm doing with it is teaching myself. So when I make something like this is actually how I would study when I was in university and things like that. Obviously it was writing, not with Xmind, but this makes it all nice so that I can look at it as a reference sheet later on, because my handwriting's appalling. So there's that. Okay, like he's excited to see them. Excited to see them live. Even though I feel a little skeptical, but I heard her sing "Heavy Is the Crown," and I feel like the song is perfect for her. Yeah, the new songs, that's good. That, you know, I think it just, the only weird part is if she's singing the other things. Hey, listen, Default, we haven't spoken in years, so it's okay for us to be off topic, I think. Diaphragm everything, right? Exactly. Talking logic on the internet is pretty antithetical. People try, though. Come on, they do try and bring it up. But anyway, let's try and be antithetical anyway. Let's just be that way. Okay, logic basics. Let's go definitions. No, what did they call it? Vocab. Hello, Martial. We are not arguing today, but you know what I would like from the chat? If you guys do choose to hang out with me, as I really hope you do, help me out with examples. That's always great. That's how I like applying what I've just learned or what I've just read, literally. Okay, logical vocabulary. Before using logic to reach conclusions, it is helpful to know some important vocabulary related to logic. Premise. Okay, sometimes I forget to use the word premise. I use proposition instead. But now it says premise, proposition used as evidence in an argument. So what do you do with that? Premise? But that is the way it is. I always say your proposition is this. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't refer to things properly. And this is why we need refreshers. This is why Kitteh needs to learn basics. Okay, premise. Okay, a proposition used as evidence. Okay, I remember that. Guys, I am waiting, just another thing in terms of my having better references for the things I'm going to learn. I'm still figuring out the library membership that I'm trying to figure it out. But anyway, I'm going to get my main thing is to get my first year philosophy textbook that I remember having. It's called Thinking It Through. And what was that, second year? Either way, I'm gonna get that, and that's gonna be like part of my studying, I suppose. There's a lot of it's for philosophy 101. It's basic philosophy and things like that. But I want to get back into it, so that's what's happening. And might be what we do maybe once a week. I don't know. I'm fucking around. But anyway, I hope everyone had a good weekend. Premise. Proposition use evidence as an argument. Ooh, have you read the book Surrounded by Idiots? Yes, I have it. I have it here. And that's another one that has to what's the name? That's another one that has to make its way into my everyday practice. Maybe I'll be diagramming some stuff from there in the future. Yeah, because I'm really interested in going back into behavior and learning and communication, just that sort of thing. Is this a little late for you to learn logic, Kitteh? No, I'm rehashing the basics, Emperor. um, who's my favorite philosopher? I don't have one. Especially because of my ignorance. I wouldn't say I can name philosophers, but I can't say which one. Yes, back to basics, exactly. That's why I want to go and sort out my library. Maybe this afternoon I can go and sort out my library membership. Technical issues, but anyway, yeah, I want to go back to basics with the stuff because then it also it provides a framework for me to a mesh for me to look through the arguments that I've already looked at, the diagrams I've already done. So it could bring more value to the diagrams I've already done. It's super nerdy. I know it's not exactly going to get the views, but let's figure it out. Let's see how it goes. We diversify. I'm trying to. You love Nietzsche. Master does. Look. If there's an academic that I really do admire, it's Carl Jung. But that's just from what I. Symbolic logic is best logic. What is that even? Are you talking about actual represented with symbols, or just if we're thinking about our lovely Lord and Savior Jordan Peterson, he's all about symbols. Anyway, you guys tell me what so I'm gonna be looking at this book. Let me show you. Thinking it through, it was literally it's an old book now, I suppose, but it is a very good first year. Jeez, the price. No wonder I'm not buying this fucking thing. Jeez, I am using my privilege as a library member to read this book. Let's go to images for you to see what I'm talking about. This book. And I have it at home in South Africa. I think I've got like two books, things of it. So yeah, that's what's going to be getting it. Your boy's giga sad. How are you all? Yeah, I saw you just put a sad emoji on Twitter. Are you okay, IJP? You know what? I'm gonna make you extra miserable because I'm just gonna start talking about facts and logic. We don't care about your feelings, man. Is it because you missed Circle of Jerks? I respect Jung. He had a spiritual philosophy. Okay, let's go back to our source stuff. I'm not so okay. IJP, hugs all around. I don't know how to comfort you without just being a dick to you, because that's just affection, male affection. As a girl, I'd be like, I'm sorry, IJP. Hugs all around? Why? What's wrong? Can you talk to us about it? We're hanging out here. Give us the premises and the propositions and the arguments and things. You don't overshare on the internet either, but the point is we love you and you're hilarious. I hate Jung, he's depressing. Really, Carissa, why is he depressing? What's depressing about Jung? What, because of the dark self and things like that? That's interesting. That is an interesting take. Okay, let's go. I have to figure out how I'm gonna keep you guys in. Thank you. Yeah, really? Is it really? Are you really grateful? I'm sorry. That's all I am. Whatever it is, we're here for you. Why is Jung depressing? Yeah, exactly, Chris. Tell us. Okay, so premise and proposition. I often put these two together. You know what? The colors are not helping over here. No. Yeah. Okay, fine. This is very plain, but whatever. I'll figure it out. I'll change it when we publish it, because it's going to be part of the gallery of Xmind things. Guys, go and check out things that are in Xmind. I'm going to do it myself. Anyway, logic, basics, vocabulary, premise, proposition. So you could also use this as flashcards, right? Proposition used, not users, used as evidence in an argument. Okay, cool. Conclusion. I'm not copy pasting. You'll realize that I'm not copy pasting it because it goes through my brain when I type it out in a certain way. Logical results of the relationship between premises. Okay, logical results between premises. Okay. Conclusion serve as the thesis of the argument. I'm going to put that there. Thesis. Argument. Okay. This is quite interesting. Logical results of the relationship between the premises. Often I'll just go when I'm looking at the relationship between premises. I'll harp on about the premise, but then I don't talk about their relationships. At least not clearly. I'm hoping this will give me some ability to speak more clearly. The joke answer to what's got me down is that RoboCop's voice in the third movie is different and it ruins an already mid-movie. Yeah, that's it. I would take Jung over Freud any day. Same. That was it. That was it for me. Freud is so based in foolery. Good lord. Okay, logical, father of psychology, all of that stuff, but boy, I'm gonna go to problems. Okay. I still want Carissa to tell us why. Carissa, tell us. You're allowed to say Jung is depressing. We just want to know why. That's all. Okay. Argument, the assertion of a... You see, this is... So guys, I'm not the arbiter of how people learn here. But I think, for some reason, it feels like you shouldn't have premise, conclusion, argument. You should have argument first defined. Like, this is what we're talking about, guys. We're making an argument. Let's think about it. We go at the top. We've got argument. Why would you on earth would you put argument as your third Anyway, okay, argument. This is supposed to be like a body double stream. You're supposed to be able to work to this stream, and I'm yelling. I'm so sorry if the algorithm brought you through here. The assertion of conclusion based on logical premises. The assertion of a conclusion based on logical premises. Yeah, of course, I guess we don't want to make it so obvious that we're using these words all in each other's definitions, I suppose. The assertion of a conclusion based on logical premises. Is there an easier way? And it asserts the conclusion based on logical premises. It's based... Okay, so if we had to have keywords here, we've got conclusion based on logical premises. Logical, one following the other. Okay, anyway. Then you would go, okay, we've got conclusion and premises. So our conclusion should be the logical result of relationship between premises. I think it's better to have the premise at the top there. Yeah, okay. But RJP, go and watch How to Train Your Dragon. Okay, I've told you to do that because that will make you feel things. It will make you go and cry, and that's a good thing. Okay, you can cry if you're not feeling good. Do a good old cry. It's a biological release. Okay, I know what other kinds of releases that people do when they're sad. That's a good release. Okay, it's crying. Okay. I am working on my thesis. Okay. Life is depressing. He was just analyzing that experience. I'd argue we argue more with rhetoric than logic. Absolutely, Wade. Although logic frames the argument, and as is sine qua non, yes, we try. That is the overarching. We try to do it. We look at it, but yeah, it's more about rhetoric. And you know what? That is, I'm going to star that message because there are rhetorical techniques to study as well. So this logic stuff, cool, great to have it. But then when it comes to rhetoric, there's also stuff to learn on that. So going back to the basics of rhetoric is also rhetoric. Sorry, I don't know how you would like me to pronounce it, but speaking, convincing people through wordcraft. That is a skill in itself. Being persuasive. Don't have anyone to watch it with, or do you mean the OG one? Watch the OG one and the new one. Like, I watched it by myself yesterday. You don't need anyone to watch it with you, man. You don't. So I'm guessing there's some trouble in paradise, RJP. If you don't have anyone to watch it with, or are you just missing the misses? I watch everything alone too, Mexican. Yeah, well, I watched it alone. I had some kids behind me. They were just making noise or whatever, but otherwise it was a great time. All by myself and like just enjoying the movie. Not having to worry about whether somebody else is watching it, like if they're enjoying it, are they going to find it funny? Are they going to find it lame? You just like, no, you there. You just have the experience all for yourself. Mexico isn't a paradise. Good morning, atheist gamer. We're going back to basics, everybody, in today's class. Any arguments about these definitions? Okay, conclusion, thesis of argument. I don't want to put any notes around it. It's a cheat sheet. I can put notes in terms of how I feel about it to make connections and make me remember. But these things are pretty normal. All I can say is that I often say premise and proposition. I interchange them. They both start with P. So what am I supposed to do? No, going to the movies by myself sounds depressing, but thanks for the advice. Okay. If it depresses you, then yeah, it's not a good idea. If it's not an empowering thing to do, then don't do it. Like, whereas for me, that's what it was. Master popping the shadow pimple is the way. Pop the shadow pimple? Oof. But then what? Yeah, okay, fine. Then watching alone, curled up in a blanket, and watching the OG, that's also pretty cool. Just get some good feels. Nobody steals your popcorn. Exactly. Okay. Syllogism, the simplest sequence of logical premises and conclusions devised by Aristotle. Nobody has used that in a while. Okay. Induction, a process through which premises provide some basis for the conclusion. I think I'm going to use induction and deduction first, and then the syllogism and enthymeme afterwards. Okay. So we got conclusion. So induction. Okay. Hey, Hunty. Okay, persona, element of the personality that arises for reasons of adaptation or personal convenience. The masks one puts on are in various situations. So that's depressing. That's the depressing thing that you find for. I don't ever use masks, so I don't believe in that theory. Oh, okay. Okay. So you're consistent, Carissa. You're an exception because I don't know about masks. Maybe masks is too much of a what do you want to call it? It's too much of that's too shallow a conception. I think we in different situations we use different stats. If we're going to think of ourselves as like a build of a video game character, we use different stats in different situations. We do use different loadouts for different situations. So that's more of a robust description rather than just a mask. Like, you just put that on. It's not real. So the real self is behind there. I guess that's the thing, is that your real self is behind there, and the mask is. Yeah, I get why that would be depressing. I just watched an hour loop of my favorite video game boss, which is I put on my Spider-Man mask from time to time. Only from time to time. When was the last time you did it? Are you wearing it right now? Okay, induction, a process through which the premises provide some basis for the conclusion. Some basis. Why are we using the word some? The premises provide some basis for the conclusion. Okay. Premises provide a process. Okay, that's a process. Okay, so these are two processes. We've got deduction. Okay, a process through which the premises provide conclusive. Okay, so it's deductive versus inductive. A process through which the premises provide conclusive proof for the conclusion. Okay. Process through which the premises provide. I wonder if I would go, there's two processes. There's two processes of going from conclusion. Yeah, from premise to conclusion. Induction and deduction. I would want these two to be related, because you see these two, a process. So I would want it actually to go there. That's how it relates. When you get a conclusion through induction and deduction. But hey, it's a cheat sheet. Fine, we don't need to say how things connect. It's just in like when I'm studying this sort of thing, what I like to do is find connections so that it becomes more. What do you call it? It has more ground. It's more robust is my new word today. Oh, I've never played Ratchet and Clank. Is it worth a play? It absolutely is. It's so much fun. If you aren't confident in yourself, you default to social norms. The mask. Yeah, you will you just go to the normal, the most acceptable, and then and maybe you are there people then, Wade, that are just normie, and that is their way. They are just social norms. Like, that's their real self. Or is everybody weird in their own special way, and it's a measure of confidence how outside of normal you go? I think there's normal people. Anyway, why didn't I bring I dreamt that I brought my first year psychology textbook here from South Africa. And I dreamt that we did a whole series where I would just pick a term from the psychology textbook, and we would, or a term or a chapter or whatever, and we would just go through stuff from it. But I don't have the book. So I could try and get my mom to courier it to me, or I should just buy it. I'll compare the prices. We all heavy unique, in my opinion. I believe you are already a whole person. You don't need to become self-actualized. You can be born knowing yourself. I was just born with self-esteem. Oh, that is a superpower, Carissa. That is a superpower, to have self-esteem. You're not busy building that bit up all the freaking time. People with low self-esteem, like myself, you have to actually work on that all the time. It's fucking tiring. I think there is normal people in the most unsure voice ever. Old soul is the word. Oh, what, you can be born knowing yourself? Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I have. I have situations in which I'm self-confident, but I do feel like I need a little bit more self-actualization. I'll check it out, Hunty. Thanks. What's Hunty doing? Courtney Greer's is also with fight after her music video. Okay. Okay, favorite games for so long. Are we just talking about? So the last Ratchet and Clank game I played was actually on PlayStation 2, but I loved it. I'll check it out. No, actually, you know what? I think I might have played something on PlayStation Plus anyway. Guys, just so you know, if you guys are gonna talk that shit, okay, then you're gonna have to make sure that you subscribe to my gaming channel. Yes, the last time the last time we were hold on. The last time we were live was quite a while ago. Point is, you just need to subscribe. Okay, so just subscribe if you want to see gaming stuff, or just go to Twitch. But Twitch is pain in the ass. So there, just make sure you go and just drop your sub there. Okay. So if I go and play Ratchet and Clank and whatever, you guys can go and see me there. Let's get up to 45 subs there. Come on. And I mean, look at this. Look at this channel design. What do you want? I played a game called Gear Grit. I was inspired by Jak and Daxter. Jak and Daxter versus, oh, you know what I want to see? When I look at these old videos, I'm like, oh, I just want to go back to these games. You do not have to buy any new games. I don't have to buy any new games until I die. I honestly don't think. I would buy new, I suppose that you would buy new consoles and things so that you could, what's the name? You could level up your graphics or get the remasters or whatever. Oh, that's true. Piracy is really easy. No, that's not what I mean. It means I have such a backlog. I want to play Little Kitty, Big City, all of these things. So anyway, I didn't know you were a gamer, Kitty. You just gained some cool points in my book. Yay! But I haven't gamed in so long. Like, look, do you see it streamed 2 months ago? Come on. But whilst I was getting sick by getting the Rainbow Mafia message in an entertainment wokeness, I suddenly saw a review for a Korean game that had a fully figured woman action hero that you could make her boobs big. Do not talk to me about backlog. I cannot imagine Ceranos. I'll add me on Steam. I want to see. And now I'm hearing Rainbow Six Siege is going to go free to play. I've got a friend who wants me to. I'm like, do you know me? I'm such a bad gamer. But does that matter? That shouldn't matter. Okay. Anyway, back to that. You know what? Maybe we do some gaming this week. I'll check it out. Okay. Ever played Sly Cooper? Guys, you're making me not focus. You guys are the worst. I'm trying to study. I'm trying to learn. Anyway, and you're making me just want to play video games. But we got to earn our video games, guys. We've got to earn video games by studying stuff. I've been playing Cyberpunk for the first time. It's pretty great. Oh, there you go. Sorry. Yeah, it's your fault, Auntie. No, we had the reminder earlier. Well, the first person to speak was someone from Twitch who we used to play games together and stream. So we've already been primed for being distracted by gaming today. But yeah. Point is, let me just check how many people did any of you bitches subscribe. One person added to my subscription count. Nicely done. Whoever that was, you're a true friend. Okay. Does anyone play Monster Hunter here? Because you should. I've been teaching my nephews to play Hogwarts Legacy. I've got Hogwarts Legacy. I haven't finished it. Already subscribed. Good. It was you. Yay, Ceranos! Okay. Anyway, by the way, Ceranos is also streaming games, so go and subscribe to him. Simp. Okay, shh. Let's put the music louder so I can drown you guys out. Not you won't have the music louder. I'll put it All right. And I love Monster Hunter. Woo, Hunty! Are you okay? Look, I'm very far behind on Monster Hunter, so I want to play it. Maybe we play tomorrow afternoon after. No, we've got to make videos afterwards. Okay, anyway. Deduction. Okay, deduction. Process. Cool. Two processes. Now we've got this, the Aristotle stuff. The simplest, a syllogism is the simplest sequence of logical premises and conclusions devised by Aristotle. Sequence. When I was studying, what would happen by putting two blocks like this is basically my brain would go like this. Okay? I'd land up learning like this. And go, oh, I know that there's one thing related here. I know that there's one thing I've got to remember when I have the word argument, and that's got to come up. Okay, cool. And then, okay, cool. And then there's like, oh, there's two things that I need to remember. From there, logical results of relationship between premises, thesis of the argument. They basically mean the same thing, but I know what would happen in my brain at least is I would go, oh, there's two things. What were the two things? And usually I wouldn't remember the two things. All I would remember is that there were two. So, and I would also remember where in the textbook the thing was, but not what it actually said. So thanks, brain. Really appreciate it. A process through which the premises provide conclusive proof for the conclusion. Okay, so this is conclusive proof. This is some basis for the conclusion. The simplest sequence of there, and then we go what's devised by Aristotle, but like I don't know why we have to have that here. I don't even know if I should maybe just put Aristotle there. I don't know. Do I want that? No. Syllogism. I don't need to know where it came from. And I've never heard that actually said out loud. And I did do. We didn't talk about this in first year philosophy. A shortened syllogism from which omits the first premise to fill it in. Okay. A shortened syllogism which omits the first premise, allowing the audience to fill it in. Ooh, that's interesting because we often have that happen with guys like Peterson, who just gives us. That's basically what Peterson did with his claims in the atheism thing. He would go. He would omit most of the first premise, like he would put in an assumption that would follow. So the audience puts it in. I guess that is what happened. And then when you confronted him with that, he would say, "That's not what I'm saying." Is an intima which leaves out the premise. Okay, audience to fill it, allowing the audience to fill it in. Okay. Are we going to use an example? Socrates is mortal because he is a human. Okay. Yeah, because. So we've got this example. Okay, hold on. Argument with a hidden premise is what this person actually, this definition, yeah? Pronunciation. Play it! Sorry, I'm trying to get the pronunciation. Enthymeme. 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 Hey, Vika. How would you say that word, this word, enthymeme? I don't think it's very hard to know yourself. It is hard for some people. Like, so I can understand. I can understand how some people find it difficult. I don't find it difficult because I'm always bloody well talking to myself and carrying on, but a lot of people are very unaware of themselves. You would say it with your mouth. Woo, RJP, you saucy today, eh? What have you been playing, Vika, have you been playing Warframe as well? Seems like if beauty is in the eye of the beholder, would the beholder consciously create something that is not beautiful? Consciously create something that is not beautiful. Well, no, not in that you're assuming that the beholder only exists to behold beauty. Like the beholder has a reason. As a reason, the only purpose the beholder has is to behold beauty. But they can behold everything. Hey, Tarnished Gamer. Hi, Creamage. I'm so sorry that we're doing boring stuff today. But I fully expect you to sit around with me. Guys, Creamage is the reason that we have beautiful background music. If you have a problem with it, you have a problem with Creamage, and that's horrible. Beauty would be irrelevant. Okay. Once we're done with the basics of logic, you guys can throw all your fun logic at me then. Okay. But I like this. There's our vocab. Okay, so let's see. Reaching logical conclusions. Reaching logical conclusions depends on proper analysis of premises. Yes. The goal of a syllogism is to arrange premises so that only one true conclusion is possible. Okay, so that's the vocab. So you would just, this is nice. It's all nice and vocabulary, right? Because, then I can just open up and have my definitions here. And that's what people usually like when you publish an Xmind diagram, right? Is, this is what I get to do with it. Cool. Thank you. You've given me information. Fine. Do it. Just leave it that way. Let's then do let's go along with the owl. I'm going to actually include the source here that I'm using for this piece. Using logic, Purdue Owl, Purdue University. Okay, so there it is. We've got that I'm not plagiarizing exactly. I'm just reworking. Carissa is already enlightened. How do you think the rest of us can be enlightened? You know, as somebody like who feels that way. What is it? Are you just like are you just like, hurry up and just know yourself? Like, isn't it frustrating, or is there an insight you can give us as somebody who is enlightened that way? It seems like you just, like you said, you were kind of just born that way. I've been playing Warframe again. I actually want to play it. I don't know what, I need to make a poll or something about what I need to play, but I want to play Monster Hunter and I want to play Warframe because I just love the flow of Warframe. How fast you can move. Yeah. Okay. Let's stay on track. I'm gonna give myself. Let's do, because there's this thing 15. So focus. I've got focus settings, right? So I'll do a focus session. Session duration, we'll have 15 minutes of focus. Okay. I've started a focus session, ladies and gentleherds. Sorry, I had to rewind the stream. I missed the question. Okay. Okay. Enlightenment is an eternal pursuit, especially for me. Yeah. Like for self-esteem, don't compare yourself to other people. Like, I'm not a concert violinist, but you don't need to be a great concert violinist to feel good about yourself. Just to do it. I'll play anything with you. Yeah, let's do it. Have you played Monster Hunter Wilds, Vika? I'm thinking of playing tomorrow. But anyway, let's continue. Oh wait, you're gonna play. Are you gonna play with us as well? Wait, I have. I'm not very far in it, so I need to just do some grind. But will you guys sit with me while I grind? Let's go. Okay. But this is what we're doing now. Okay, logic basics, vocabulary. Okay, so reaching logical conclusions. I want to say logical reaching. Okay. Very vibey. What are we playing? We are playing Monster Hunter Wilds. But I'm still so low level. I kind of want to solo a little bit and instead of rush through. I can't be carried from so early on in the game. That's a lie. You guys, they carried me in Worlds as well. We're playing logic. That's what we're doing. Exactly, Wade. That's what we're playing. Wade knows what's up. MVP Wade. Okay. Reaching logical conclusions. Okay. Reaching logical conclusions depends on proper analysis of premises. The goal of a syllogism is to arrange premises so that only one true conclusion is possible. So we need to analyze premises. Goal of syllogism rate program. I like the words arrange premises so that only one true conclusion is possible. Okay, so only one. That's difficult. Okay, also, no, full stop. Consistency. Okay. Example, so we can have an example. Non-renewable resources do not exist in infinite supply. Coal is a non-renewable resource. From these two premises, only one logical conclusion is available. Coal does not exist in infinite supply. Okay, let's use their example. An example, premise 1. So now there's different notations that are used by argument analyses people, which I have not learned yet. So I'm sure at some point we could come back to this and add that. Okay, non-renewable. So I guess what I do with debate diagram is somebody says something like this, and then I will go even further in. And I will say, what do you mean by not exist in infinite supply? Like we look at the premise itself and go deeper with it. But sometimes the other way around is necessary, where somebody is going too in depth into their premise. You need to extrapolate and actually give the syllogism by breaking it into its premises. And I don't think I do that often. I think that's what my summary videos should do. Coal is a non-renewable resource. And then our conclusion, which should be what I would usually do as a summary. That's a sudden change. Okay. Conclusion. Okay, cool. And the relationship between these two premises is one. We take one of these. We take the non-renewable resource. And that's the relationship between the two, and that's how you get the conclusion. Okay, cool. Why is the summary over here? No, the summary is supposed to be the summary of both things. Thank you. There you go. Xmind, love it. Okay, from these two premises, only one. Example B. Often logic requires several premises to reach a conclusion. Okay, so that's example A. Examples. So A. And put the conclusion together. Hello? Ta-da. A B several premises. Primates. Okay, go premise 1. Two, premise 3. Okay, all monkeys are primates. Okay, so this underlying thing, I remember that from first year. Underlining stuff. That underlining was when you're done. Yeah, when you're done with the argument. The underlining is the last premise before you get to the conclusion. I don't know why I forgot that until now. I mean, irrelevant, I suppose. All primates are mammals. All mammals are vertebrate animals. Conclusions, monkeys are vertebrate animals. Okay, so conclusion. Conclusions? What do you mean conclusions? Who put this together? Conclusions. Come on, Purdue. I expect your study notes for students to be at least grammatically correct. June Awakening is being dehydrated trying to build a bike. Apparently it's really cool. What's the name? Premise 2 is a negation of premise 1? No, it's not a negation. I guess you don't need all monkeys or primates. You don't need that. You could just you just want to make something. The whole point of you doing this example is, oh, I want to diagram this even better. Look at this, the way how it works. Okay, no, I have to finish this section and then I'm gonna do something extra. Atheist Gamer, it's your fault. It's your fault for making my brain itch a little, because I want to do some stuff with these examples, okay? And I won't run after my my ADD undiagnosed, but I won't run after that yet, okay? We will delay gratification of that. Okay. Okay, we got remnants of a tail. Yeah, we got a tailbone. Okay, example C. Logic allows specific conclusions to be drawn from general premises. Okay, consider the following premises. Okay, specific conclusions from general premises. Consider the premises. All squares are rectangles. Oh, let's do premise 1, sorry. At least this will make me start realizing that it's premise and not proposition. premise one, I think we use this example even in the first book. Then I have squares are rectangles. Figure 1 is a square. Ooh, it's the itch is there again. Okay, the conclusion is okay. Figure 1 is also a rectangle. I don't know about this also, use of also there. Why does it have to also include it? I like June, but it has issues like restart game, quests to work, etc. So is it unfinished? All daisies are menaces. All menaces are cute, are kitties. All kitties are cute. Ergo, all daisies are cute. All menaces are kitties. All kitties are cute. Mm-hmm. Yes, I like it, Creamage. That will go in the supplementary, because we're going to publish this and people will be like, who's Daisy? So, because we're going to get lots of views on it. But anyway, C specific. Okay, so syllogistic fallacies. The syllogism. Okay, so that was reaching logical conclusions. The goal. I don't like it just being one after the other. Examples. Goal of syllogism is to arrange premises so that only one true conclusion is possible. Some examples. Goal. A. Simple. Okay. Okay. Oh, then we've got, and they've got, no, I don't like the way they've structured this. Syllogistic fallacies. Because they've got, the way that they've structured this is they've got a heading, that says reaching logical conclusions. And they go example A, example B, example C, right? Then they've got a new heading and they go into example D because it's continuing the example numbering. But I don't like that because I've got a new heading. You're telling me my heading meant nothing when you continue with your example D. But I suppose what they're doing is the usual academic thing where it's figure 1, figure 2, figure 3. Anyway. Okay, so reaching logical conclusions. Examples. Okay, so we got those. I don't know. I would still say that I would want to put the syllogisms thing underneath reaching logical conclusions. That's what I would do. But anyway, syllogistic fallacies. The syllogism is a helpful tool for organizing persuasive logical arguments. However, if used carelessly, syllogisms can instill a false sense of confidence in unfounded conclusions. I think this often happens in debates anyway. We do this. We simplify rhetorical arguments into logical ones, and then it circles itself because people say you're simplifying my argument, reducing my arguments to a syllogism. So we can't get too logical in debates, it seems. Okay, the syllogism is a helpful tool for organizing persuasive logical arguments. However, if used carelessly, you can instill a false sense of confidence in unfounded conclusions. The examples in this section demonstrate how this can happen. Okay, so we're talking about syllogism. The examples. Logic requires decisive statements in order to work. Therefore, the syllogism is false. Some quadrilaterals are squares. Figure 1 is a quadrilateral. Figure 1 is a square. The syllogism is false because not enough information is provided to allow a verifiable conclusion. Figure 1 could just as likely be a rectangle, which also quadrilateral. Okay. Ooh, this is basically the Mott and Bailey sort of thing that happens. Okay. You know what? I would have also used fallacy as a logical vocabulary word. That's what I would have done. You don't want your tail? If I had a tail, all I would be doing is using it the same way I use my leg here. You guys see I'm always like bouncing. Like, basically, my leg just, I just bounce my leg like this all the time. So I think if I had a tail, I would just be doing this with it, like swishing it. A rectangle is a square, though. No. A square is a rectangle. I'm reduced to being a tail chaser. Hey, Zax. Okay. Guys, this was the worst focus session ever. I'm starting another one. Okay. What's that noise? Oh, somebody. See? Can't do it. Okay. Syllogism is a helpful tool for organizing. Carelessly. Unfounded conclusions. I'm actually going to add fallacy definition. Failure in reasoning which renders an argument invalid. I think we could have that here. Fallacy. An idea that a lot of people think is true, but is in fact false. A failure in reasoning which renders an argument invalid. Failure in reasoning which renders an argument invalid. There we go. Syllogistic fallacies. Okay. Feelings, no! Yes, put feelings in. Okay, let's close that. Decisive statements order to work, therefore syllogism is false. The syllogism is false. Okay. Examples. Premise 1. Okay. Come on. Sweet. Okay. Some quadrilaterals are square. Figure 1 is a quadrilateral. Conclusion, figure 1 is a square. I think this is useful when we're figuring out what's wrong. You basically you put A and B, you put variables in when somebody is making an argument like this. You go premise 1, some A are B, then premise 2, C is A, therefore C is B. That's basically what we could probably do with it. So that could at least get me going. This could at least help me with these examples. Example. Okay. Example D. E. Okay. Premise 1. People with red hair are not good at checkers. Bill has red hair. Bill is not good at checkers. Logic can also be mislead when it's based on premises that an audience does not accept. Yes, an audience has to accept the premises. Just because you have sound logic, the premises have to be true, though. They have to be acceptable. So a lot of the time, people will just go, I don't accept this premise. And what do you do with that? What do you do when somebody goes, I don't accept your premise? Then you can only just talk about why you don't agree with it. I don't know what else you could do. The conclusion, by the way, needs to go here. Sincere. Do there. And then the conclusion. Bill is not good at checkers. So yeah, just because it is put in this format doesn't make it right. But the thing is, with writing and rhetoric online, this, as long as it sounds kind of good, we don't really care. We go, oh well, yeah, that makes sense. Sexism is the reason that everything is so horrible. Racism is the reason that everything is so horrible. There we go. It makes sense, that sort of thing. Within the syllogism, the conclusion is logically valid. Yep. However, the syllogism itself is only true if an audience accepts premise 1, which is very unlikely. Okay, so we could say here. In example E, I suppose I would have to put things in here. What do I want to do to show this? Do I do a call out? Within this syllogism, the conclusion is logically valid. But the syllogism itself, if you accept premise 1. Okay, let's put that as a kink. Okay. Love it's into whiskey. You should bring her on. Woo! Love it. Do you wanna hang out? It's all horrible. What? Whiskey is horrible? What's horrible? But yes, hi Davina. All animals have 4 legs, therefore all dogs have 4 legs. Ooh, I love that, Davina. Yes, this is an example of that's an example of, just because it's a syllogism doesn't mean it's true. Okay. Yeah, love it. Come on, give me the link and I'll take a shot. You'll take a shot. The jism. The jism. So wait, will you? What? I want to have you on a think. Love it. Would you like to be on a think? Would that be fun? Or is she just drinking the alcohol now? Apparently, Lovett has been talking about Blood Meridian, which sounds like an interesting book. Okay, example. Cool, we're done. Syllogistic fallacies, we're good. Example F, we have another example. Shui. Okay. If logical conclusions also depend on which factors are recognized and ignored by the premises. Yes, this is what I was going into. That's cool. Therefore, premises that are correct but that ignore other pertinent information can lead to incorrect conclusions. Okay. Example if I think I'm just going to have premise 1, premise 2, and summary. And let's get all of that. There you go. G. Just to make things quicker. Okay, summary. Also depending on which factors are recognized. Okay, let's put that here. Depend on which factors. And ignore other information to incorrect conclusions. Okay. Heal this over here and there. I recognize ignored. Yeah, I'm going to go into this. I want to make a sub diagram with these examples in here. Why they worked. This is what my brain did. Okay, premise 1. It's true that okay, all birds lay eggs. Okay. Yeah, this is a classic example, but that's what an example is for, so it's easy for us to work with. All birds lay eggs, platypuses lay eggs, therefore platypuses are birds. Animals' love is the best. It's nice and pure. Hey, Jacob! Platypuses is birds. Platypus is birds. Okay. It is true that all birds lay eggs. However, it's also true that some animals that are not birds lay eggs. These include fish, amphibians, reptiles, small numbers of mammals like... To put this in another way, laying eggs is not a defining characteristic of birds. Thus, the syllogism, which assumes that because all birds lay eggs, only birds lay eggs, produces an incorrect conclusion. Okay. Gets to this conclusion because that only birds lay eggs. To this incorrect conclusion. This is interesting because this is the same sort of format that Peterson seemed to have with his claim with atheists, where it was like, okay, atheists. I need to go and actually break it down in the same way, because he was basically saying only what he was assuming, or what his claims were doing, is assuming that only Christians believe in anything. Or only Christians believe, only Christians worship, only Christians understand God. He was putting that assumption in and hiding that assumption, kneading it into the dough. So I like having this framework so I can actually think back on these other, simplify these arguments I've been looking at lately. Okay, a better syllogism might look like all mammals have fur. Platypuses have fur. Platypuses are mammals. Fur indeed is one of the defining characteristics of mammals. In other words, there are not non-mammal animals who also have fur. Thus, the conclusion there is more firmly supported. Okay. In sum, though, logic is a very powerful argumentative tool and is far preferable to a disorganized argument. Logic does have limitations. Haha. It must also be effectively developed from a syllogism into a written piece. Yes. Okay. Then we are going to go into the logical fallacies. Okay. Let's go. Logical fallacies. This is what we're all been waiting for. Nothing like insomnia. I'll cure your insomnia right away. I love platypus. Like when a dog humps a cat. Okay. Platypus in boots. Atheist, the whole medical field developed because of the experiments. Oh gosh, are we trying to figure out whether it was a good or bad thing? Hey, cynical Finch, good to see you. Your takeaway from Peterson is that debate has me so perplexed. I've come out of lurk mode. Your takeaway from Peterson in that debate has me perplexed. What's perplexing about it? A lot of his claims were like that. They smuggled in these things. I can go and take it out to show you. Otter, red panda, platypus, everything else. I don't even put platypus. I don't even compare platypus to red panda. Here. So if I just save this, sorry, it's Xman server, logic basics. Let's see. Okay. Image hail. Sorry, we're just loading up. Okay, we're going to do logical fallacies, and then we'll go back to the other document there. If Finch will let me know how things are going. Okay, I mean, why I locked him out of lurk mode. Okay, that's you. I heard him say that even atheists worship, not that only Christians. The thing is, he never said that. Absolutely, cynical Finch. He never said that. But the way his arguments, the way that was underlying in his claims, they don't actually change whether someone is atheist or not. It seems like the debate you're supposed to be having with atheists versus Christians is that God exists versus God doesn't exist, right? But what he was doing is basically just taking pot shots at atheists, and saying atheists do this, blah blah blah. Okay, and that makes them very belief oriented, and like there was just there were limits to his claims. But I guess all they were there for is that they were prompts. They were there for what do you call it? To generate discussion. That's all. Hey, Mr. Green. Okay, I agree with that framing. Yeah, cool. Okay, there we go. That's where. Oh, let me just zoom out so I can figure out where I'm at. Okay, logical fallacies. It's good. His claim, rather. His argument is implied that atheists worship. Yeah, implied. Yeah. You want to know something about Mr. Green? What about Mr. Green? Okay. Logical fallacies. We don't have to zoom in that much for this one. Fallacies are common errors in reasoning that will undermine the logic of your argument. Fallacies can be either illegitimate arguments or irrelevant points, and are often identified because they lack evidence that support their claim. Avoid these common fallacies in your own arguments and watch for them in the arguments of others. Fallacies can either be illegitimate arguments or irrelevant points. Okay. This is irrelevant points. Slippery slope. So we've got all the different ones. We've got slippery slope. Hasty generalization. Okay, what's next? Post hoc ergo post hoc ergo propter hoc. Genetic fallacy. Let's get that. Begging the claim. Is that begging the question? Begging the claim? I'm just listing them all before we get to actually putting them in. Circular arguments. Quite pertinent when it comes to the atheism discussion. Okay, either or. An either or fallacy. Okay. Ad hominem, our favorite one on the internet. Ad populum, bandwagon appeal. Okay. What are we at? Red herring? Ooh, interesting. I haven't actually heard people say this is a red herring in a while. Straw man, we know that one. Let us steel man them. Moral equivalence. Okay. Okay. Anyone's your favorite over here? What's your favorite one? Slippery slope, hasty generalization, post hoc, genetic, begging the claim. Is there no appeal authority here? Red herring, ad populum, ad hominem, either or, circular, begging, genetic, post hoc, hasty, slippery slope. Okay. Let's see. Slippery slope. This is a conclusion based on the premise that if A happens, then eventually through a series of small steps through B, C, Z, X, Y, Z will happen. 2. Basically equating A and Z. So if we don't want Z to occur, A must not be allowed to occur either. Example, if we ban hammers because they are bad for the environment, eventually the government will ban all cars, so we should not ban hammers. Eventually, in this example, the author is equating banning hammers with banning all cars, which is not the same thing. Qualitatively, not the same thing. But we're removing steps. We're removing steps in the slippery slope argument. Okay. You can't equate them. You can say maybe that would lead to it. I think that's fine. The fallacy. To say something is wrong because the argument uses a fallacy is the fallacy. Love it. Okay. Okay, so slippery slope. We've got conclusion. There we go. I have to write it. I have to write it to study it. Conclusion. Based on the premise. No. I think it would be better if A happens, then through of small steps, B, C, D, X, Z will happen. Therefore, therefore they are the same. Therefore, if A not even therefore, if A happens, oh no, we don't even have that. That's all there. Then A is as good as is equivalent. Is equivalent to Z happening. Rather put that there, say it's premise. A happening is equivalent to Z happening. Yeah, so we have the example. If we've had to do examples, okay, the example that they use here is ban hummus. Fun, that's fun. I love money and swimming pools. Oh, cool. You don't like money? Who does? Phallic fallacy. The phallic fallacy is the one that only stands up in certain circumstances. The example. Not yeah, let's do an example. We ban hummus. Will ban all cars. Ban hummus. I think it's pretty funny that we're saying hummus though. Let's say let's just say trucks. I think this is a bit old. Ban trucks. I'm surprised that oversimplification reductionism isn't listed. Well, they did kind of say around the syllogistic fantasies, maybe there it is the reduction. It's talking about focusing on the wrong thing. You did hear phallic fallacy. You did. Okay. Slippery slope example there. We ban trucks because they're bad for the let's give us an example, another example. Example B. If we allow oh gosh, do I really need to get contentious with absolutely everything I create on this channel? Okay. It wouldn't be good to use that one, no. If we ban alcohol? You thought I was saying hammers? That's very good, because you know what? It's clear that you did think that, because I was waiting for somebody to make the joke. If you have any strong opinions, you'll create conflict. Yes. She needs example. Lovett is definitely drunk. No, syllogistic is what I call getting lost in the weeds. Okay. The guy who uses the bomb is never the guy who understands the bomb. If we allow, yeah, true. If we allow, well, if we, gosh, we're gonna have to use contentious ones, because the slippery slope. I don't know about this. The thing is, government does do these things. Is there another example without government that we can stay away from the slippery slope thing? Because like these things ring true, because banners. I'm trying saying grape is bad. I'm sure you'll get a certain type of human pushing back on you. Oh god, all of the slippery slope fallacies that are coming to mind are just fine. If we introduce a sugar tax, government will they can ban it for a while until they're safe and environmentally friendly. Until they're safe. Get me, Kitty. I'm not kidding you. You go on your own there. Introduce sugar tax. The government will slippery slope without government. Don't feed the animal, because if you do, it will get fat. Is slippery slope fallacy. Well, no. If you feed the animal, okay. Wait. No. Oh my god, my brain is going funny. If we introduce sugar tax, the government. Let's take a government one. Oh, it's okay. Cool. Don't feed the animal because if they do, it will get fat. Like I think that if I feed the animal, if everyone's feeding the animal, eventually the animal will get fat. That isn't a slippery slope. That actually does happen. But I guess the same as me feeding. The point that it's making is that me feeding an animal. Actually, I think that there's the fallacy. It's like, okay, if I feed my cat treats every day, if I feed my cats every day, it will get fat. If I feed my cats every day, it will get fat. Therefore, I should never give my cats treats. And then because of this, therefore, we ignore, because with a fallacy of sorts, we decide that what to focus on. So I guess we're going to eventually get to what this other diagram I wanted to do over here with these. Now I need another coffee to really get going. Yeah, I've run out of steam. Okay, there. I've just got to keep an eye on the clock. Actually, I have to get through these. Come on, let's go. Okay. Slippery slope. In this example, the author is equating banning Hummers with banning all cars. This is not the same thing. Hasty generalization. This is a conclusion based on insufficient or biased evidence. Okay. Conclusion on insufficient or biased evidence. That's very easy for everybody to do. Which it happened in the Peterson debate, where they were like, "I'm making a generalized claim." Of course, my argument is false. Okay, this conclusion is based on insufficient or biased. In other words, you are rushing to a conclusion before you have the relevant facts. We have, in this example, even though it's only the first day, I can tell this is going to be a boring course. In this example, the author is basing his evaluation on the entire course only on the first day, which is notoriously boring and full of housekeeping tasks for most courses. To make fair and reasonable evaluation, the author must attend to not one but several classes and possibly examine the textbook, talk to the professor, or talk to others who have previously finished the course. I don't think this is a great conclusion. I think it's funny because it's like, yeah, this is our first thing. Hello, Sparkles. Let's do a conclusion based on intervention. Okay. Somebody comes to this stream and says, "Oh, Kitteh doesn't do touching leads to love. Kitteh doesn't do debate diagrams. She just diagrams everything." There you go. Based on insufficient or biased evidence. Okay. Not even. I met a cat at meows. There's so many you could do. I suppose I could. I like fish. No, I'm like making it really complicated. Clean up in aisle 7. Wow, what happened? I have anything. I love anything you do. There you go. No, not Kitteh. We're trying to make this universal. Okay, fine. This diagram is complicated. No, I don't want to do that. Fine, let's use their version. This course is to be boring Considering considering the first day of work. This job is going to be really easy. We don't know. It's only one day of work. Okay. In this example, blah blah blah. Post hoc. Hasty generalization. Post hoc ergo propped up for. Why potatoes, tomatoes? This is a conclusion that assumes that if A occurred after B, then B must have caused A. Okay. If occurred after B, then B must have. Oh, if A occurred after B, then B must have caused A. It's the causality fallacy. I drank bottled water and now I'm sick, so the water must have made me sick. Okay. That's the same sort of also a hasty generalization as well. It's a different form of hasty generalization. I have very limited evidence. It's just the format that the evidence took is an if statement or an A after B. So these are it's still a hasty generalization. Cool, we're good. In this example, the author assumes that one event chronologically follows another. The first event must have caused the second, but the illness could have been caused by the burrito the night before, a flu bug. This is the same thing. Working, yes. Genetic fallacy. Okay. The conclusion is based on an argument that the origins of a person, idea, institute, or theory determine its character, nature, or worth. Okay. The origins of a person, idea, institute, they determine its character, nature, or worth. Or the thing that they're trying to say is the conclusion is based on. Okay. Based on the argument. That the origins of a person, idea, institute, or theory determine its character, nature, or worth. Okay, I don't like using that many words. It's worth. Its characteristics. Okay. Okay, and it is the Volkswagen Beetle is an evil car because it was literally designed by Hitler's army. Yes. Okay. In this example, the author is equating the character of a car with the character of people who built the car. The car with the character who built it. Okay, I want to do this. Where is it? Where? Yeah, copy. Okay. Forensics files. Go well, Vika. Enjoy, Vika. Have a good time. Nice to see you, Kitty. Have a good time. Have a good day, Vika. Okay. Begging the claim. Okay, so genetic fallacy. Well, I guess you do have a genetic sort of fallacy when it comes to the where God's rules started off in a certain place. Yeah, no, it's not the same thing. Okay, begging the claim. Okay, conclusion that the writer should prove is validated within the claim. Filthy and polluting coal shouldn't be banned. The conclusion that the writer okay. This is basically the Bible is begging the claim. The conclusion that the writer should prove is validated within the claim. that is, we've got, how did we do it? Let's do it that way. Like that. I don't want them to be, they don't have to be one after the other. There we go. Structure wise, I want them that way. Okay. Filthy and polluting coal should be banned. Okay. Arguing that coal pollutes the earth and thus should be banned would be logical. But the very conclusion that should be proved the coal causes enough pollution to warrant banning its use is already assumed in the claim by referring to it filthy and polluting. Okay. But the conclusion that should be proved. Should be proved. Coal pollutes enough to ban. Okay, how would I use this in another example? Filthy and polluting coal should be banned. Why do we always have to go to banning and things like this? I don't like these. But I guess these are the ways that we argue. After in forensics, race is needed to identify racism, even if it is debunked in evolutionary biology. Filthy and polluting coal should be banned. I guess, I suppose filthy and polluting, rioting and looting immigrants. Huh? No, that's immigrants. Immigrants should be banned, no? Okay, yeah, rioting immigrants. That's still saying, okay, the conclusion that should be proved. Not banned, should be deported. Let's say migrants, not immigrants. The conclusion that should be proved. Migrants are rioting? I don't know. No one likes pollution. Race is biological, though. Some races are more susceptible to certain diseases. Yes, it is. That's my opinion. I guess that's my understanding. Migrants are rioting. Okay, begging the claim. Okay, cool. Let's get that. Then hasty circular argument. Fun times. This restates the argument rather than actually proving it. Okay. Then proving it. Okay. George Bush is a good communicator because he speaks effectively. Okay. Circular argument. So that was the accusation that Peterson launched at somebody as well, because they apparently didn't add to the definition of what a God was or what belief was. I guess we could use the well, no, I don't know what I was going to say. Go into what is a woman. So there's a social aspect and a biological part. Okay, anyway. Why are you guys arguing about that? Okay, circular argument. Communicates it. She speaks effectively. Doesn't prove it. Okay, it doesn't prove it. Okay, it just restates. That is a rhetorical thing that happens, and people are bound. They find that okay. It happens. They do this. Either or. Okay. In this example, we can either stop using cars or destroy the earth. This is a conclusion that oversimplifies the argument by reducing it to only two sides or choices. Yeah. Oopsie. Reducing. Sorry. Why did it go all the way to the top? Okay. Reducing an argument. Two sides or choices, and that's exactly what we're doing with politics in America. True physical designation of race are usually about more than skin color. People forget how good they are at both perceiving and classifying it. At least the former tell a story. Everyone believes in biological variation. Everyone sees biological variation. But that doesn't mean anything about the people. I don't know. I don't know what your guys' argument is on. So there's either Greenpeace. Okay. We either. Yeah, this is an example. We either stop. We either use pronouns, preferred pronouns, or we kill people. That's it. There's only two options. That's it. Either or. That's the example. I appreciate you, Kitty. Thanks. Love it. I want more whiskey. No, I think you need to take okay, listen, this is how it goes. This is how I drink, okay? And I've been told to drink this way. Go and drink a whole glass of water, and then you can get another bit of whiskey. You have to drink water though first. You earn that whiskey. Don't you see color good for you? Okay, we're all the same. Always. Ad hominem. Okay, this is an attack on the character of a person rather than his or her opinions or arguments. Yep. Character. Greenpeace's strategies aren't effective because they're all dirty, lazy hippies. Okay. I think that works. I want that one. Greenpeace's strategies aren't effective because they're all dirty, lazy hippies. In this example, the author doesn't even name particular strategies by Greenpeace, but it's suggested, but much less evaluate those strategies on the merits. Instead, the author takes the characters of the individuals in the group. There you go. Add popular bandwagon appeal. This is interesting. We have this in popular culture as well, where they try and say what the bandwagon is as well, when it actually isn't. This is an appeal that presents what most people or a group of people think in order to persuade one to think the same way. Okay. Getting on the bandwagon is one must such. Okay. Yeah. That's 2. Think in the same way. If you were a true American, you would support the rights of people who choose whatever vehicle they want. Okay. If you are a true gamer, you will love all games. You will love you will love Elden Ring, I suppose. Not Elden Ring, but you will love Duskborn. No, but that's the populist. So yeah, you will love. Yeah, maybe let me just do Elden Ring. Okay. Red herring. Most atheists think the Book of Nema is about a cucked Hebrew who wants God to threaten nature and destroy society in response to my wife's kids. However, it's not clear he actually had kids. Okay. You guys are having a good time. I'm glad you guys are arguing within there. Can you use all of the which logical fallacies are being used, or which rhetorical techniques are being used? We haven't gone through them, so you currently don't know them. This is a diversionary tactic that avoids the key issues, often by avoiding opposing arguments rather than addressing them. Okay. Avoids key issues. Avoids opposing arguments. Addressing them. The level of mercury in seafood may be unsafe, but what will fishers do to support their families? Fishermen do. Mm-hmm. It's still, this is kind of an appeal to emotion. Okay, straw man is the weakest version of the argument. Safety of the food and talks instead about an economic issue, the livelihood of those catching fish. While one issue may affect the other, it does not mean we should ignore possible safety issues. Mm-hmm. Straw man, this move oversimplifies opponent's viewpoint and then attacks that hollow argument. Yep. Oversimplifying opposing view and attacking it. People who don't support the proposed state minimum wage increase hate the poor. Yes, people who don't support Author attributes the worst possible motive to an opponent's position. In reality, however, the opposition probably has more complex and sympathetic arguments to their point. This is just all we do online. This is all we do. I think that this was supposed to make me feel a little bit better and gain a bit more clarity and things like this. But what it's actually doing to me is it's making me go, oh, all of the online discourse is boring and stupid and repetitive. It does all of this all the time. I'm tired. Moral equivalence. The fallacy compares minor misdeeds with major atrocities, suggesting that both are equally immoral. Ah, okay. I don't even know if it's any equivalence. You don't even have to have it as a moral equivalence. You can just drawing equivalence is a false equivalence happens all the time. Parking attendant who gave me a ticket is bad as Hitler. Okay, jeez. It's as bad as Hitler. is as bad as a murderer. Let's call that a murderer. Most will view U.S. process against Trump as an indication of the political climate and extreme far-right policies clashing with them. AWZ, moral equivalence, such as bad as murderer. Okay. Does logic always work? Let's wait. Using logic in writing. Let's check what they've got to say here. Understanding how to create a logical syllogism does not automatically mean the writers understand how to use logic to build an argument. Crafting a logical sequence into a written argument can be a very difficult task. Don't assume that an audience will easily follow the logic that seems clear to you. When converting logical syllogisms into writing arguments, remember to lay out each premise clearly, provide evidence for each premise, draw a clear connection to the conclusion. Okay, this is now me going back here. Logical fallacies, cool. Syllogistic, all the fallacies, interesting, very cool. But reaching logical conclusions is where I want to go. And I want to create a new map with this. Show branch, align floating, new sheet from topic, reaching logical conclusions. That's where I want to go. Goal of syllogism is to arrange. Cool. Now I want to look deeper at these examples and see what we did with them to come to what we are doing with premises to come to logical conclusions, right? They lay them out and they leave the processing in the background. But we've got here non-renewable sources do not exist in infinite supply. So if we had to break this up into a mind map, okay, we would have non-renewable resources. Okay, we've got to figure that out. Okay, we've got infinite supply. Hello? Where is it? Infinite. No. Infinite. Okay. So we've got the the ideas of infinite supply and non-renewable resources. Those are the two things that we have as premises, okay, as within the premise. Okay, premise 2, coal is a non-renewable source. So we are making non-renewable resource. So we take the characteristics of this renewable resource over here and we connect them. Our brain goes and makes a connection. No, summary. Our brain goes and makes a connection. Okay, transfer of characteristics. Okay, these are the two pertinent things we're doing. Renewable resource, non-renewable resource. We are transferring characteristics to it. Non-renewable. And coal. Yeah. Aristotle was a man. All men are mortal, therefore all men are Socrates. Hey, Exit Music. She's a cat in the What's Happening, guys. You should consider buying the card game Rationality Rules release. It's called Debunked and is based on playing fallacies. Ooh, interesting, Chris. I'm going to look that up. Where is my little notebook? It is for all of the things that are suggested. I could just star this and it'll be starred forever. As in love your neighbor, Carissa. Oh. Kitteh, please add me. This is not a call-in show right now, love it. But you are going to have to join me. You know what? Let me just give you a freaking link. That's it. We'll make it fun. I've got 15. No, I've got like 10 minutes left, and I don't know what's gonna happen. Okay, let's send Lovett a link. Wait, I want to do one more thing here. So non-renewable resource, we transfer the characteristics. I'll be happy with that. What if you have a think with me this weekend, or just with 10 minutes? Just hold on there. Transferring characteristics. Renewable resource. I think it's actually this way. To coal. Okay, good, because this week we can do a think. You're just getting into bed. Well, no, don't worry. You'll still go to bed, Zax. We'll do a think this week with Lovett. I'll speak to her about what Lovett. You get to think. You get to choose what we think about this week. Then, what would you like to do? What would you like to spend basically 2 hours talking about? And philosophically, and also specifically. So, like, oh, we have an issue, and then we go and we talk about it in a philosophical manner. You choose. As the featured thinker, you get to tell us what you would like to think about. So think about that, and you know what? Choose it while you're drunk on whiskey. Okay. Actually trying to... You know what? We don't even need these two things. Oopsie. Hate it when it does that. Yeah, let's just do it like this. Transferring. Fuck's sake. Transferring. Characteristics. Ding, 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 ding. There we go. Let's make you yellow as well. I'm trouble, Kitty. You are. I will know. I will not time thinking about it. Okay, but you just tell me what you want to think about, though. The rise and fall of Bruce Willis. Ontological relationships between dildos and the POV of mental representations in society, not sexually perverts. Okay. It's actually the other way around. Whoopsie. There. Between coal of non-renewable to... Okay, and here we go. All monkeys are primates, all primates are mammals. So again, we've got all monkeys are primates. So if we got a relationship in, we would have monkeys. So we've got all monkeys are primates. Got monkey and primates. Primates, mammal. Oh, wait, they call the conclusion. Sorry, the conclusion happens. Okay, all mammals. Mammals, vertebrate animals. Hey! Okay. Okay. Stars, if solar is renewable, then so is coal. Stars go supernova and produce carbon over time. Argue, it's like tag, but argues for existence of flying spaghetti monster using pastological arguments. That isn't that an old internet thing? Because the sun will die. Yes. Can we move to a post-money world? Would it be hell or heaven? So it's a question. Okay. This could be what we think about this week. Chuck Norris. Okay. No, I don't want to do a Chuck Norris thing. No, I suppose, but you are if you want to do Chuck Norris, fine. I'm starring that as well. There's too many starred things here. I ain't much or most of it from dead biologics, and so there are finite systems with life. Thus, coal is finite, so it goes. So I guess that then we have to then talk about the measure of time that we're looking at, the scope of time we're looking at. How could you, Kitty? Everybody loves Chuck. Everybody does. Okay, just hold on. Coal is non-renewable and coal. Okay. All monkeys are primates, so the relationship is transferring. Sorry, it'll be transferring characteristics. Of primates to mammals. No, mammals to primates. No, of monkeys. No, this does it by itself. Shit, this is not working the way I'm doing this diagram. I would have to have floating topics. Premise, all monkeys are primates, and a floating topic here that goes monkeys. This goes here. We transfer down characteristics of monkeys all the way through to get this. So I do want to do it a relationship-wise. Monkeys, characteristics transfer. Characteristic of primates to monkey. Okay, and then we would have in a relationship here where we go transferring characteristics. These are the things our brains are doing. Let's try and figure it out. Doodaloo. Conclusion, monkeys are vertebrate animals. Let's see. Transferring characteristic of primate to mammal. Mammal to primate. To primates. And again, then this will go, it follows logically. Okay. So what we focus on matters. You have to figure out, you have to, just putting them into a little simple sentence doesn't, you have to do all of this thinking, all of this yellow thinking that happens. Then when you get here, from here to here, you transfer. Good Lord. This is all the thinking that goes on when you're making an argument. And that's where things can get messed up, I suppose. Here. Premise, all three men. Yeah. Transferring. characteristic of vertebrates. All back to monkey. Through and mammal. Okay. Oh, so when people are talking about definitions, when they're going to argue, right? And they go, "What are we talking about? We have to agree on what we're talking about. This is how much you can disagree." Okay? If you sure you can have the logic of the argument mapped out. But this yellow stuff here, this, I don't know, string cheese, I suppose we could call it, that is where all the shit occurs. Okay? So if I go here into, because it all depends on, especially when we're talking about bad examples, specific conclusions, general premises, not bad, even when they're not bad. You disagree, well, because you're just being that way. Little shit. Okay, general premises, yeah, we've got all. Now we got to think about the word all as well. Oh, God, as well, we got to think about words all. No, I don't like the way I've put this out. It's not a lesson. It's not a lesson. It's just how I'm trying to figure out. But yes, the spaghetti. The spaghetti did occur. I need to figure out a better way to put this together. Word webs. Here's a bad one. Renewables owned a large part of the drive for third and fourth stages of production. No, I don't want to play word webs. In a tribe, everyone just adds to the tribe, then everyone takes what they need. It needs to balance the books. Are you arguing for communism, Wade? And in this case, saying owned clashes with a renewable as something with properties of refreshed. Okay, hold up. All monkeys are primates. All we have to also have all. We have to have all. Yep. All means something there. It's all very, very important. All. Coal is a non-renewable source. So there is the operative word is. R is RR. Okay. All squares are rectangles. So we've also got the all there. Put that in red. Fuck's sake. It was just one. This is the only one that needs to be red. All squares are rectangles. Okay, the all. I want to draw this in a certain way. What am I trying to do? Shit, she got me. Commie all over the place. You're all for Marxism? Oh no. Because it's stinky. That's it. That is exactly it, RJP. And I'm surprised you're still here. You really are not feeling good. Figure one is a square. So what do I want to do with this information? This is what I wanted to do today, is get all of these, the basic logic out there, the basic vocab out there. We can go and we can say, let's, I can actually delete this because it didn't really help us yet. But I can share this and publish it on the on Xminds gallery, so it's searchable there. Me big sad. I'm so sorry. I really am. This too shall pass. It shall. It shall. Don't you think it's wrong that people suffer in poverty? Yes, but I've what I do come down upon is the manner in which we can get rid of that poverty. What you're doing there is making an equivalence between me not being okay with the communism's way of dealing with poverty, with me not being okay with me supporting people living in poverty. It's not the same thing. You're doing it. I appreciate you, Kitty. Thanks, love it. I like Karl Marx's optimism and hate Jung's pessimism. Okay. I'm going to pee. It's going to feel so good. Yes, you're going to break the seal. We all add to the human artifice. Why should some of us own more of it? Oh, you guys are just trolling me today. That's interesting. Do I want to do this with the philosophical arguments? I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I do have to get going in a few minutes, but let's see what else we can do this week. Let's have a bit of a game plan for what we'll do this week. I suppose what I want to do is look at the logic basics here, and create here in my previous diagrams and create mini diagrams of the basic arguments people were making. But I think people are tired of. How does it feel living in one of the richest countries in the world, Kitty? Pretty good. It really, it's very good. The privilege is over 9,000. It's pretty good. Oh, it's also pretty hot though. I must say. Also, it doesn't make me particularly rich, but yeah, comparatively to the rest of the world, yeah, I suppose. You should feel guilty. Okay. I'll let you know when I feel guilty, because that happens a lot. Sorry for being silly earlier. What? You? Oh, you guys are arguing about things. Okay. Does logic always work? Let's ask ourselves this. Logic is a very effective tool for persuading an audience about the accuracy of an argument. However, people are not always persuaded by logic. Sometimes audiences are not persuaded because they've used values or emotions instead of logic to reach conclusions. But just as often, audiences have reached a different logical conclusion by using different premises. Yes! Therefore, arguments must often spend as much time convincing audiences of the legitimacy of their premises as the legitimacy of their conclusions. For instance, yeah, okay, so. Because they adhere to a different logical sequence, these members of the audience will not be persuaded to change their mind logically until they are persuaded to different values through other means besides logic. Integrate argument and rhetorical strategies. I want rhetorical strategies. No. Okay. Rhetoric. I think I want to go into rhetoric. If you aren't rich personally, it's fine. You don't need to feel guilty. Okay, thanks. Thanks, Carissa. Rhetorical narratives that appeal to people's emotional biases. Those work. They do. They do all the time, because that's literally how it goes for us. How we build our knowledge. We're not actually that logical in the way that we develop. Logic basics, vocab. So that's what we've done today. Yeah. Argument, premise, conclusion, introduction. Well, let's have a look, see here, at what I could do with this Steven Pinker book. Because we at least have it. Okay. How rational an animal, rationality and How rational an animal? Rationality and irrationality. Logic and critical thinking. Let's see 70 to 73. Logic and critical thinking. Formal logic and formal fallacies. Ooh. Oh. Formal reconstruction, critical thinking, and informal fallacies. I do just want to read this book. It's called Pinko. He's a linguist, my field. You're a linguist? X music, that's cool. I majored in linguistics. That's as linguist as I am. I'm Vulcan. I'm not Vulcan. Emotional intelligence is always more important than logic, anyways. Yeah, I would say. Steven Pinker, rationality, what it is and why it's scarce. Why it matters. The reason I love this book is because it literally has a flowchart on it. A cunning linguist. All linguists are quite cunning. I know what you're trying to do, Davina. Indexes of bias and fallacies. Let's see. 389. Hold up. We can look these up, guys. Active open-mindedness, lack of ad hominem fallacy, affective fallacy, affirming the consequent, alias paradox, all or none causation fallacy, appeal to emotion, argument from authority, availability and bias heuristics, bandwagon, base rate neglect, begging the question, bias dissimulation, gosh. All of that. Garden of Forking Paths, genetic fallacy, guilt by association, heretical counterfactuals. Mythology, no true Scotsman fallacy, openness to evidence. You could, yeah, all of these is. It's just these are just ways to form. These are the ways for me to learn to shorthand when I'm describing how people are talking. Poor people do open their hearts more often. Linguist isn't the same as polyglot, someone who simply speaks many languages. What did they think? Who's said you're a polyglot? Wade, you're so sweet. I'm guilty of you're a guilty association. Sorry to distract. Passive versus active writing habits awareness. Bombers drive for the prisoner. You want to do that? I think we're all just thinking of all the things we want to think about. Let's if I did an index of these things, of biases and fallacies. Okay, these are all biases. Okay. Hot hand fallacy. Manana fallacy. Martin Bailey tactic, moving the goalposts. Moving the goalpost, Martin Bailey. Okay, I just need to read this book. But we are not done with all things we want to say. Polyglot speaks with many tongues. That's why cunning linguist. Oh, okay, I get what you mean. I'm trying to figure out what this week has got to do. I should do this on the weekend, but let's have a look-see at the trending debates out there. Ooh, I'm not going to do that. I don't know. I'm just not feeling debates right now, guys. Specific ones. The truth about the no kings. South African TV adverts. I'm figuring it out, guys. I think you're going to have to do it. Do I just know more poor people? All the things she said running through my head. The most slammed proof of the existence of God. Let's see what we can all agree on. That would be an interesting thing. The sky is blue. No, I don't want to do that. I'm gonna have an idea. Sorry about being so boring today, but such is life when you're me. The red panda is the cutest animal. That is the thing we will stream about this week. About the red panda. Can we eat poor people? Soylent Green. It's people. The fun is learning all the fallacies you can, then watching a discussion and seeing how many people use. That already, just from looking at these things. Let's actually see here, just a list of logical fallacies. List of logical fallacies. List of all fallacies. Appeal to probability. Argument from fallacy. Also known as the fallacy fallacy. The assumption that if a particular argument for a conclusion is fallacious, then a conclusion by itself is false. Base rate fallacy. Making a probability judgment based on conditional probabilities without taking into account effective prior probabilities. Conjunction fallacy. Propositional fallacy. So. Informal argument from incredulity. There's a lot to learn here. I'm looking at all these things. I'll get to find out if I can get to work tomorrow. You work in downtown LA. Woof! Arachnid, good luck. You're gonna hate propositional logic. Well, if I actually go and get the book that I want to read. But I guess Pinker would go over the same things with logic. But the thing is that thinking it through book does not just rationality and all of that. It does philosophy as well. Yeah, I need to go, and when I die, I want my body to be donated to science, and then the remains can be eaten. Cool. Are you learning for fun or for school? I'm learning for fun right now, but I'm going to be learning for school at some point. So, yeah. Philosophers arguing diagram. Yes, if they have the different presented arguments. I wish I could access my university notes so I could make a diagram of my university notes. When I die, I want my body to kill science somehow. Because that would be funny. It would be based. If you're doing logic, you're going to inherently dip into philosophy. Yeah, but I don't know which one I want to do first. Night all, yes, love it. Go and sleep. I guess we could go through this book. We could do this. Learning, rationality. We could do this as a series. Not only some. Are you going to sleep, RJP? It's a good thing to sleep when you're sad. Just get that out of the way. I hope I will taste good. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I think that's what we can do. No, I ain't sleeping. Oh, you're just saying it. So I guess we could go through this. That could be the thing. Pinker offers the tools that you need to flourish in a world of misinformation and bad faith arguments. Sparky and invigorating. He covers logic, critical thinking, probability statistics, and game theory, leading the mix with jokes. I always find philosophy clashes with logic. I find humanity clashes with logic. So I'm thinking, that's what we do this week. Could I read this in a week and absorb it? No, I don't think so. I just don't like right now. All the popular debates that are going on are very political, and I'm exhausted by them. Did you get to George Lakoff in your linguistic studies? Yeah, I think so. Actually, speaking of linguistic studies, he wrote the Language Instinct. That was my one of my, what do you call it, textbooks. Game theory is fun. Let me just check. Okay, let's have a look at this whole list. How rational an animal, so that's like an introduction. Rationality and irrationality, logic and critical thinking. Probability and randomness, that's difficult for me. Okay. Beliefs and evidence. Okay. Risk and reward, hits and false alarms. Self and others, which is game theory. Correlation and causation. What's wrong with people? Why rationality matters. Okay, this book is like over 300 pages long. Oh gosh, correlation, regression line. I feel like this just has to be absorbed though. Men use logic to kill things historically. I do embrace trans ideology. I also like milking things. I don't want to milk things. I'm not feeling milking. Okay, great example of a hypothetical designed as a tool, mostly to kill things. Oh goodness. Yeah, I think that's what I'm doing this week. At least something this week. Thank you, Sage Rap, who's just joined the server, I suppose, for this reason. Guys, I'm going to get going. I'm going to figure out this. I like Milky. I'm going to figure out the structure of what I'm going to do. I was wondering if this is what I do, or if I do that. Speaking to your exhaustion of political debate, it was really fun when you diagrammed the video essay of George R. Martin. That's true, Cynical Finch. Thank you. I think maybe we could diagram. You know what? Thank you so much for joining into the discussion of what we do this week, because this is a huge undertaking to start. Whereas diagramming a video essay is something that can be a better palate cleanser. You are right. So maybe let's try and look for some palate cleansers today. It's just very hard to do that with all my recommendations being filled with politics. Paradox is the main. Okay. To Kill a Mockingbird. Let's see. Let's actually even look for video essay. Coraline's Hidden Visual Details. Video essays. True video essays playlist. I Don't Want to Be Happy. Video essays that make me think. An Autopsy of House. My favorite video essays. We're Cooked. In the Moment, a video essay. 4 hours. Basically every video essay. I Infiltrated the Manosphere. Every line counts. I bet folks in the Discord could suggest some more non-political video essays. Yeah, I would like them to. Do it. You know what? Let's make a post. Let's do that. I'll take a picture of myself being exhausted, and I'll make a post for it. That's what it'll be. Hi, this is my appeal to you. I'm yelling at you. Please suggest video essays of maybe 15 minutes. that we can diagram as a palate cleanser, because the world is too much right now. Okay. That's all. What topic? I would say something that's not political, which I was going to talk about. I was wondering if I should diagram the differences between the one how to train your dragon and the other, but that's very in depth. Language. Thanks for tolerating me. I need to go. I will think of a topic to suggest. Thanks so much, Atheist Gamer. Thanks everybody who's just chilled with me today. I'd love to chat about logic sometime. It's arguably the most important thing to me in life. I have a song on my channel on the topic that blew up called Walk Alone that you might identify with. Wow. So your logic is the most important thing to you. Okay. Let's see. Language. Video essay language. Love language, a philosophical horror. Okay. The linguistics iceberg explained. Awkward pause. Okay, this is all about people making video essays. How to make video essays. Let's see if somebody's how to mind map, how to debate. No, I don't want to do debate. How to argue. Train for any arguments. No. I'm tired of the arguments. I think so much heaviness, something light. Yeah, absolutely. You're right. You know what? I'm just gonna go through my Instagram and things like that and try and wow, my algorithm is just whack. Oh. Writing in the age of AI. Harvard professor explained the rules of writing. Steven Pinker. Interesting. Ghibli. This is yeah, we're gonna find something positive. It doesn't have to be positive, but just something interesting. You guys, my timeline right now is just horrible. Very heavy. Okay, that's it. I'm going to go and search. Everybody's got homework to go and search for a palette cleanser. And that's what it's going to be. Palette cleanser week. Let's do it. Okay. Let's turn off our background music. And we will have fun. There is no positive first principles approach to constructing logic. The closest thing is pedagogy seems to fallacy compiling, akin to learning math by how to do it wrong. Yeah, that seems like what's in here for Steven Pinker. I'm calling in sick. No homework. No, yeah, that's it. The homework is get something positive from your timeline. Okay. Yeah, I've got some ideas actually right now. They might involve Rhett and Link. Okay. And there will be it will be a diagram, everything. I'll just go to work then. Yes, go to work now, Green. And then tomorrow you can take off, okay? Same time, same place tomorrow. Storm, but Tim mentioned is my palette cleanser. Mention nothing like 8-minute beat poem that drunks on rejecting science. Oh, no, that's heavy. That's not light. Okay. Light stuff. Enjoy the light stuff today. I'm so sorry. Major apologies for today's stream, but I was here. I showed up and that's all I tried to do. We'll try again tomorrow. I really, really appreciate you hanging out with me anyway. Let's see what we do tomorrow. Again, really sorry. Have a nice laugh and I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll see you next time, bro. Hey, thanks. Bye. We're sparky as fuck. Daisy's a menace, but we were having fun the whole time. I'll see you next time, bro. Hey, thanks. quirky as fuck.
Kitteh. She goes meow 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 meow. Kitteh. We're squirky as fuck.
Daisy's a mess, but we were having fun the whole time. I'll see you next time, bro. Okay, thanks. Bye.
We're squirky as fuck.
We're squirky as fuck.
Kitteh.
She goes meow 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 meow.
Kitteh.
We're squirky as fuck. Okay, thanks. Bye.